Bad call, but go for it.
Oh, baby.
So we're just gonna jump right into it, huh?
Something's gonna get real fucked up.
We are drinking whiskey.
I put gin on top of my gin.
Giggling about bullshit. Shape your nutsack to play it with the boys? Oh my god, we're recording.
I'm trying to fill the void.
That's what you want. An alabaster smooth penis.
Zig and Larry ignore a topic. Look at your fancy glass of wine.
Mm-hmm. It's a wine kind of day.
Oh my, is it wine o'clock?
It is. This came out of a box.
Oh, I'm drinking a Coors Light, so.
Ah, the silver bullet's right here now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mowed the yard today, morbidly hungover, so.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, we, I don't know, I didn't think we had drank that much last night, but apparently we really tied one on, and both of us fell asleep in our chairs at like 1 a.m, and then woke up at like 4:30.
Spectacular.
Yeah, and then got up today and it was just like, oh, I'm gonna die. This is... Didn't even do, like, shot. We just drank, just a metric shit ton of vodka. Just dumping it down our necks. And,
In your opinion, if you're the only one drinking it, for real, honest opinion,
okay,
how long should a handle of whiskey last if you're literally just taking shots out of it?
Ugh.
And Andrew's not helping me. The wife is just leaving me to my own devices on that.
Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 5 days.
Okay. I was at 4, so
Okay.
I didn't know if that was good or if that was bad.
I don't know if that's good, but that's my opinion. Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah. I guess I should have. What would the CDC and or my local doctor say?
Yeah. Yeah, don't ask me for drinking advice. Hey, is this too much? No, I think that sounds perfectly reasonable. Anyway.
What is it? You're not drunk until you have to hold on to the grass to stop from falling off the earth?
Yes. Yep. I had I was interviewing someone earlier for the other show,
mm-hmm.
and I had the DTs so bad that I had to have a beer just to get right with God so that I could actually do the interview.
I love that things like, uncontrollable shaking from self-imposed poisoning just doesn't really faze us anymore. Now, it's like that I can remember the first couple times that ever happened to me that I was terrified. Now I'm just like, it's fine.
You want me to be straight, right? Come on, just give Daddy a little bit.
Just put some gin and some Pedialyte and get on with your fucking life.
That's how a man does it. That's how an adult does it.
Absolutely.
You don't lay around going, "Oh, it hurts." You just do what you got to do. Get on with your day.
They should make for adults. They should make beer flavored Pedialyte.
It's just that way when it hits the back of your throat, you just go ahead and throw up everything from the night before.
Absolutely. It's Pedialyte by O'Doul's and Sharps. Making NA beer actually have a reason to exist.
Well, finally giving it something.
Absolutely.
Isn't NA beer just Pedialyte for drunks?
It's methadone without the clinic.
Okay. Because there's there's like 1% alcohol in it.
Yeah, but there's like 1% alcohol in every shirt that I own. You know what I mean? Like at this point.
I'll tell you right now, there was like 10% alcohol in that tank top I wore to mow the yard today. I was drenched. It was ugly. Were
you just punishing yourself? Because I can't think of anything I'd rather not do than be around a loud fucking machine when I'm hungover.
It had been 2 weeks since I had mowed, and the neighbors had mowed, and it's supposed to rain all weekend, and I was like, fine, because I definitely don't want to do it on Monday, because I guarantee you, Sunday night, I'm going to get hammered again, and be hungover for a good portion of the day on Monday. So I was like, let's just not do that to ourselves. Let's just get it out of the way, pull off the Band-Aid, sweat out the demons, and then put a few more back in.
That's the kind of fun guy we are. We're scheduling hangovers now. Oh yeah, I couldn't possibly come to your second grade art show. I'm going to be way too hungover all day.
Oh yeah, the term morbidly hungover. That's what you're gonna learn that.
The moniker morbidly can describe a lot of things about me.
So as I was mowing, I was having these thoughts, because as you do, well, in between the silent screams in my head,
Were they ow, ow?
yes,
No, those aren't exactly thoughts.
Oh, you're gonna shit your pants. Yeah, this is when you shit your pants while you mow the yard. Okay, yeah, welcome to your 40s. No shit in your pants. Just gonna puke. All right, go for it.
Yeah,
get it out. I was just wondering if you've ever thought about, in the cartoons when you have the devil and the angel on each shoulder.
That's in cartoons?
I'm just saying, as an example.
I thought I was just hallucinating that for myself. Anyway, okay.
Well, I see them a lot. So, but again, we drink a lot. Have you ever pictured what yours look like?
They were just little me's.
Just. Are they just dressed like you, or there's like an actual angel and one a little devil, or is it just...
No, it's just two little me's, and they're both, for some reason, in the exact same green t-shirt. They don't really have a devil or angel thing going on. It's just two little me's that I always see on my shoulders going, put your finger in there, see what happens. I concur!
I think that's a good idea.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was picturing mine today. I realized I think it's just... like Otis, the town drunk from Andy Griffith. and
who's the devil?
It's a possum that got into some fermented berries.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Drunk possum and Otis. It sounds like something that's on like one of those bullshit Facebook Watch, Apple per TV.
Oh, yeah.
One of the streaming services that'll never take off.
Drunk possum and Otis coming to your computer this fall on Quibi.
It's on Quibi. It's a Sunday morning show. It's evangelical in nature. Take all your religious advice and screaming from Drunk Possum and Otis.
It's just, hey, Otis, I'm not sure if I should do this. And he just slurs something incoherent. And you go, you know what? You're right. I'll check with Possum. Hey, Possum. And it just hisses. Yep, that sounds like a good... You're right, Possum. I will have a beer.
Yeah, it can't be a cartoon. It actually has to be a mildly, forcibly intoxicated possum. Because they're magnificently even keel when sober. So I don't see why...
Yeah,
you would just get it half in the bag and just see what happens.
I didn't mention he's wearing sunglasses. He has to have sunglasses
on the back of his head, like Guy Fieri.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he parties. Of course,
sure. Makes sense.
So, what's the topic this episode?
Shit, yeah. So you actually almost hinted at it.
Oh.
Yeah. So I thought it was a little. So what did we do? We did a couple random facts about North Korea, and then we talked about powdered wigs. And I thought that this week we'd get a little bit more personal.
Okay.
More like just about you and me, not about stuff we don't know about.
Okay.
So I was going to suggest that we swap stories about the worst thing that's ever happened to us in a bathroom.
Oh.
Because I'm really trying to get people to turn this off at some point when it gets way too graphic. But you mentioned that you almost shit your pants today. And I just think unfortunate bathroom tales. Because I have a feeling that there's more than one of them for both of us.
Yes. Are we talking like in our own home or out in public?
I'm not going to micromanage you. I think whatever you think works, as long as I'd say at minimum there has to be at least a sink involved, most likely a toilet, not necessarily a tub or shower.
Okay, all right. I did take some. Oh boy, I don't want this to be like last time when you were like, hey, what's the weirdest thing you ever put your dick in? And I was like, oh, it's this. And you were like, yeah, I got nothing. You're not pulling a sneaky on me, are you?
No, I got a couple. But what was the weirdest thing you ever put your dick in?
Yeah, we already talked about that. Go back and
I just want to hear you say it again.
It was a girlfriend's old T-shirt stuck between some couch cushions.
Yeah. I think I'm going to have you say that every episode. Somewhere right around minute 12. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, every time around, just Jedi mind trick me into saying, yeah, no, girlfriend's old T-shirt stuck between some couch cushions. You know, like nobody else. Great. Our first piece.
Nobody else in the history of mankind. No.
I was very sad.
You invented a new oopsie.
Wow, I think that's the tag for the show. We invented a new oopsie.
I'm gonna have to go get a rag.
On a stick, or just in general?
Yeah, what was the thing that the Romans used to wipe their ass with? A sponge on a stick that was like that was communal.
Yes, yeah. I think
that was called the original oopsie. I don't know what you called it.
Give me the oopsie. That's what they would yell.
I don't know what it is, but it is Latin for oopsie. It absolutely was.
Yes, absolutely. So I bought some $40 flip-flops.
What?
I know.
They got Wi-Fi or some shit?
They'll suck you off, actually.
Better than a T-shirt.
Yeah, absolutely. That T-shirt just laid there. That's why it reminded me of that ex-girlfriend. Hey!
Who signed these flip-flops?
I tried them on, and they are the most comfortable shoe I have ever put on my feet.
This is the oldest conversation we have had to date, because I'm forcing myself not to ask you the brand so I could do my own research. That's where I'm at in life right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you after we stop, because we'll try to save some cool points. But I was like, I don't need new flip-flops. I've got the same pair of flip-flops I've been wearing for like 5 years. They're fine. In fact, I'd even said, wow, these flip-flops are holding up really well. And then I put these on my feet, and I was like, oh no. Oh, and Nick was like, let me try them. And so she put them on. She's like, you got to get these fucking flip-flops. That's what you got to do. You're buying them. I don't care how much they are. And so yeah, I was like, I'm not going to spend this much money. And then I kind of walked around in them a little bit more. And I was like, yeah, I wouldn't care if they were $180. I would spend the money on them. They're so nice. They're so nice.
Where were you that was open where you could try on shoes?
I do Stitch Fix, not a sponsor, but I do Stitch Fix like every other month.
I do not know what that is.
Oh,
I'm guessing they send you shoes.
It's a when I was
against your will.
They kind of take these shoes. I don't want them. You take them. Oh, so Stitch Fix is it's a service, kind of like you know what BarkBox is, right? That you get for dogs.
Dead animals in the mail.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, you shake the box, and if it barks, you know it's got there just in time. A lot of times, it's just a dead thudding.
Oh, I guess I'm sending that one back. I'm not gonna keep it.
Or you can also make your own shoes out of it. It's whatever you want.
Depending on the size, or maybe a beer koozie.
Maybe a beer koozie. Wait a minute. It requires 0 alterations to turn a dead animal into a beer koozie. You just hold it. You just hold it in a certain way.
Just grease it a little bit and shove in.
I'll tell you right now, it's a hell of a lot easier to use a live animal because those things wiggle.
Trust me, that drunk possum in sunglasses on my shoulder. I tell you, I would have just been like, I got to keep this drink cold. And
say what you will, putting a dead animal on your head will never be a hat. Without at least some stitching involved.
Stitching, staples, a bit of a muss. But yeah, I started doing Stitch Fix because I was getting on stage more and more, and I was working nicer places. Mm-hmm. And I am shit at picking out clothes for myself, and I can't always have Willow with me to go, yes, that, no, don't not that, Dad. That sucks. Wear this instead. So it was just easier to be like, all right, just have somebody else send me clothes. And so far, it's been like some really great stuff. And some of the shirts, I'm like you can tell them that's what I'm looking for. And I'm like, all right, next time you send shirts, slightly more obnoxious. I just want some. I need it.
You've got a personal shopper who knows you well enough to know. Just send him some nice fucking flip flops, man. That's really the plane he's on.
Well, what I told on the note this last time, I was like, look, the concerts I'm going to this summer got canceled. All my shows that I'm performing in have been canceled. Comedy clubs are staying closed. Bars are closed. So pretty much, here's what I need you to do. Send me stuff that's comfortable and light so I can sit on my patio and drink outside. That's it. That's what I'm looking for. And she nailed it. She nailed it. She sent me some fun shorts and a couple t-shirts, and I was like...
So you're a flip-flops and no sleeves kind of cat. Is that what you're saying?
All right, so looks like we got ourselves a hill jack here, folks. Let's get that old Budweiser tank top. That's not technically a tank top. We just ripped the sleeves off of it. Send that to him. Everything
will smell like Goodwill, and it will be pre-stained. Just so you know.
Thank God. Less pressure on me. I don't have to worry about when I inevitably fall asleep, dump beer on that shirt. I'm not going to be like, oh, that was such a nice shirt that I ruined. And be like, well, just matches the collection.
Flip-flops, $40. 9 shirts, $1.
You spend your money. You spend your money on the
right
chances. Place. Exactly.
And that's how that rash got there.
That's how that rash got there. A collection of short stories by Judy Blume.
Aww. The rash at the end of the sidewalk by Shel Silverstein. It was itchy and it smelled funny. Yeah, get some antibacterial something on there.
It's so flaky. It's so flaky.
Things you don't want to hear from your dermatologist. Holy fuck!
So, are you working a corner currently? Because that's the only time I ever see anything like that.
Have you been to Ecuador, the weird part, in the last 2 weeks?
Have you been using your inner thighs to spar with Mike Tyson? What is wrong with this?
I actually had a doctor once ask me if I had been in the rainforest recently.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude, it was gnarly. Oh, God, I don't know how many years ago. But one of my eyes turned bright red. Do you remember this?
Yes.
Like I thought I had pink eye.
Yes.
And I stayed home from work, and then it moved to the other one. I'm like, oh, Christ. So I thought, I had managed to get shit in my eyes, which will, and does happen.
Yeah.
Especially at a bad time in the bathroom. But it just wouldn't go away. So I go to emergency care. They give me drops to put in my eyes that turns out I'm allergic to, so then they just swelled up.
Oh, no.
So now they're red. I look like I got dick punched in both eyes. and every morning, they're crusting solid, and I need to use my hands to open them. I've looked better. I went to a general practitioner who went, ooh, you know what you need? Another doctor. And he sent me to a specialist. And the specialist, the woman, did all these things, the tests in my eyes, and just looked at, put drops, and did several different machines. She literally said, have you recently been in the rainforest? This looks like a fungal infection, but I think it only exists in Venezuela and Brazil. I was like, let me think. No, it just seems like something I'd remember.
Look, Doc, he told me he loved me. What was I supposed to do?
I had some gnarly fungal infection that took, which as soon as she figured out what it was, after a couple different tests, she was able to clear it up in just literally 4 or 5 days, but it hurt like a son of a bitch. And it was just I don't know where you got it. You managed to contract the creeping crud. But the thing was that they had to special order the medicine because she called in to the pharmacy. They're like, why would we have that? That doesn't exist here. She's like, it does now. He's patient 0. Give him the stuff.
He'll be coming in. No, he won't. He'll be going through the drive-thru.
Yeah. Will this come back, Doc? You shouldn't have gotten it the first time. I know. And that's why you're the professional.
Have you been to the rainforest? No. Must have been the meat palace down on Fulton, right? Right? Juan got a little too close, just a little smack in the face. Yeah, you know.
Do you go sewer diving without goggles? Is that something that you do?
Are you trying to rescue sewer rats? What are you doing? He's so cute. Oh, look, I found this drunk possum. And Otis will not shut up. It's an ornery bastard. So you got to keep the sunglasses on him, otherwise he can see you. Hey, remember talking about bathroom stuff and getting shit in your eye? Do you remember when my beautiful wife got pink eye from your toilet?
Oh, from sticking your face into it? Yeah, absolutely.
Because she fought me that night. Because she went in, and we, look, I got to give her praise. She pukes and rallies better than almost any human being I know.
I saw the picture of her yakking into what I believe is a paper sack.
Yes.
Which I thought was a choice.
I don't remember who gave it to her.
The paper bag?
Yeah.
Oh, well, the person I was living with at the time, we probably had empty paper bags and various other detritus just strewn about the place.
Here. You know what catches liquid great? Paper bags.
Paper sacks. With or without a hole in it.
She's in your bathroom, face in the toilet. I'm like, baby, you got to get your face out of the toilet. And she's swinging and kicking at me. Get the fuck away from me. I'm like, I'm trying to help you. You're going to get pink eye. I'll be fine. Get away from me.
Trying to get a little distance there.
Yeah. And tried one more time, and she caught meat. I mean, she elbowed, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Get pink eye. I don't get enjoy.
I don't know what it would describe, but the phrase "she caught meat" has got to go into my lexicon somehow. But it can't be what you think it is.
No.
It's got to have something to do with, like, farm animals, maybe. I don't know. Ooh, that one caught meat.
It's when you hit something with your car.
Yeah.
Oh, that caught meat, didn't it?
Caught meat.
Son of a bitch.
Or just becoming ridiculously overweight because I sit on my ass due to the pandemic. I'm just sitting around catching meat.
Looks like he caught meat. Ooh.
The only thing I wore today was nachos. Did I ever tell you about the time that I had to sneak a bag of vomit into a bar because I love my wife?
Okay, you snuck a bag of vomit into a bar
with accomplices. Oh yeah.
Please.
This was going to be one of my couple of things, like, worst. The other one has come out of my person, but this is one of the worst things that ever happened to me in a bathroom. It's more fun. Anyway, so at my buddy of mine's wedding a couple of years ago, he has an outdoor wedding. Reception is at the same place, and we're having a good time. And then after hours, he rents out this place. It's like a ping pong bar. Like, you go, you play ping pong, and they got darts, and they got, pool tables and stuff, like games, Well, right before we leave, there was a Jewish wedding, so I don't know what you call it, but when you put the bride and groom on the chair, and you throw them up in the air, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're doing that bit right before we leave, and he brings out this handle of Fireball. Now, I forgot that we were pledging a sorority at the time. I didn't realize that was the thing. But he decides we're not getting on the bus that he had rented to take us from the reception back into the city to the bar until that Fireball is empty. This is at the end of the reception. So we're throwing these people, and I'm amazed we didn't kill either one of them. We're throwing them up and down in chairs, drunk out of our mind, passing around a handle. And the handle gets to my, at the time, fiance, my wife. And she doesn't, it's one of those things where she doesn't really know anybody at the wedding. Like, she's like seen them a couple of times, but not like friends yet, So she wants to party. She's plugging right out at the handle, this horrible cinnamon gack. And I know she's not going to make it because she's been drinking all day outside like the rest of us and dancing. And we're getting on the bus. Now, earlier that day, I had gotten to the reception, or I got to the wedding a little bit early. I was in the wedding. We changed into our suits there. But I got there and I was wearing jeans and a t-shirt, just helping him, about chairs and decorate or whatever. So I had a plastic bag you get from like Walgreens with my T-shirt, my shoes, my jeans, my shorts, whatever that I had worn there. Also in there was a flask that was given to me as my present for being one of the groomsmen, and it was wrapped in leather, and a leather outside, and monogrammed. I thought it was really nice. Well, that only comes into play because as we're in the bus, we get closer and closer to the bar. And I look over at my wife, and she makes that face where you go, whoop, we are not holding this anymore. It's going to happen. It's a bus. Windows don't go down. We're in the middle. There's nowhere to go, and it's like all the seats are they're fabric, Larry, and we rented this vehicle. You know what I mean? So I start yanking all the stuff out of the bag, and I get everything out except for the leather flask. She proceeds to have one of the most violent episodes I've ever seen. Now, to her credit, it all made it in the bag.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Thankfully, there wasn't a small tear in it, or I'd be wearing it on my suit that I bought just for the wedding. But now I'm holding a bag of wet nonsense with my present in it. And she feels better, and she can't understand why I'm upset, because now she's drunk enough to go, this bag of wet sick is your problem. And she wants to go play ping pong as she's wiping her mouth and like picking her teeth. It's she's never looked better.
And that's when I knew I loved that girl.
Absolutely. The problem was I got everything out, but I want the flask. Right. It's just in cinnamon and bile scented fluid right now. With chunks of really, really nice petitfours, from the wedding. It was there was crab cakes. It was a thing. Mostly shellfish, of course, just to add to the melange.
It smelled like cinnamon sea.
My favorite part of this moment, of this escapade, was not the fact that she doesn't understand why I'm upset. She's given me this bag of vomit in a bag form that is now my problem. I look at the front, and there's a bouncer out front in this bar. It's like a nice place, and he's in a suit, and he is checking everybody's ID, even though all of us are easily late 30s, early 40s. He's just doing his job. Mm-hmm. So I look at one of the bridesmaids who had changed, and she was gifted upstairs.
Yes.
She was brilliant.
She was very smart, very smart.
Yeah, she also had big tits.
Oh.
But I just looked, and she was wearing a really low-cut shirt. So in my half-drunk brain, I went, and I just met her that day. I'm like, could you do me a favor? I need you to distract the bouncer so I can get this bag of vomit into the bar. I had a whole plan, a whole story, telling her what was going to happen, and she just went, sure, sweetie. Like, that was it. This happens on the daily.
You know what? It probably does. Hey, Tits McGee, come here. Distract this guy for a second. So
I can sneak vomit into the bar. Sure, you must have a reason. I trust you implicitly. I've known you all day. To her credit, she did. And I just walked in with it sloshing, waving at everybody, found the toilet, dumped it out, and rinsed it off, and it was fine. And then I turned around and realized that I'd walked into the ladies' room.
Oh, no.
So now I have put chunks of seafood that smell like Kappa Gamma, oh no. I brought a bunch of, and I'm drunk enough that there's like a handful of women in there, but I just went straight for the sink, and they just like horribly upset. And rightly so.
Yeah.
I didn't play much ping pong that night, but I still have the flask. It's right over there.
Oh.
Mildly stained.
That's just memories. Memories.
That's how you used to tan leather back in the day.
Yeah. You
puked college booze all over it. Either that or you shit Jägermeister on top of it.
If it was fancy, it was Goldschlager.
Oh, yeah, gold flakes.
Yeah, I nearly bought some the other day just for nostalgia's sake, and then
what were you trying to remember?
The combination of my locker from high school. If I figured if I could be in the same state of inebriation with the same booze, it would come to me.
And I could finally get those gym shorts back.
They were so comfy.
They were. They were, yeah, because I wore them. I used to wear your gym shorts quite a bit.
I knew it.
You weren't around. Kind of like your T-shirt story.
I didn't put them on. I just wore them around Never mind. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I was it was at Wrigley Field, and I was at a ball
Which
game.
Is known for its. Really, you were at Wrigley Field and you were at a ball game? No.
Well, normally when I go to normally when I go to Wrigley Field, it's to see a concert. So.
Oh, fair. Okay. So this is old Wrigley before renovations, where the bathrooms were one big trough, right?
Yes. Yeah. Still the troughs, and it packed, right? Packed house. Okay. And what was I will say, I loved because like when one guy would get done, he'd look up, like give the high sign to the next person in line, so you could get up there and squeeze yourself in, right?
Oh, it's like the grocery store. We're open on 7.
This way, come on. No. I'll hold your spot with my dick out. Get over here.
It's exactly like the grocery store where they tell me they're open on 7 and I take my dick out.
Excellent. Can you weigh this? I'd like to take this home. Paper or plastic? Well, I'll tell you how to wrap it up. Old T-shirt.
Old T-shirt and lambskin from the 1930s.
So I get in my spot, and like I said, it's shoulder to shoulder, and everyone's they're respecting the rules of the trough. No eye contact, especially. Like, you don't look up across the trough because it was the oval. So anyone that hasn't been there, you don't make eye contact with the guy across from you.
No. So you don't start singing. You don't do a sniff test on somebody's hair. There's a lot of things that just you don't do.
Yeah. No, you never. I tried to reach out and hold somebody's hand once. That didn't go well.
That priest was terrified.
Well, I wasn't young enough.
Yeah, right. So, don't see.
Come on, man. If you shave, we'll talk. I know you got a baby face underneath that. So I'm standing, I'm doing my business, and I can hear this group of dudes, right? But like, one guy's just obviously drunk out of his mind, loud, and just, I gotta throw up, and I gotta shit. He just keeps saying, I gotta throw up, and I gotta shit.
He's at the trough.
No, he's getting drugged through.
Those are two things you don't do in the trough.
Right. These are, you don't make eye contact, you don't hold hands.
You don't shit.
And you don't tug on Superman's cape, and you don't spit into the wind.
You don't shit in the trough.
And you don't mess around with Jim.
And you don't scream you're about to do it before you do it. Let it be a surprise.
But so this guy, he's like half carried in by his two buddies. Okay, so and there's two buddies like, sorry, excuse us, we gotta.
This was his entrance music.
What's that?
Screaming, he had to puke and shit, was his entrance music.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
And you can hear his buddies like, excuse us, sorry, we got to get him to a toilet. Sorry, excuse us. And of course, everyone was pretty cool. They knew they weren't trying to cut line. They just needed to get this guy back to the shitter. Mm-hmm. And so they get about halfway, and I am 3/4 of the way to where, because the shitters are in the very back. This guy gets about halfway, shrugs his buddies off, and goes, I can do it. I can walk. Like, he was like a drunk toddler. It was adorable.
Right.
And he's
a big boy now.
Yeah, he's just pulling a pinball, like, all the way down, and bouncing off people, and his buddies are trying to bounce him back into play. Like an aha video, he's just bouncing back and forth. Until he gets to me. And somehow, his buddy couldn't get to him, and he just lost his footing. And I'm standing with my dick out.
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't like he slammed into me. He just, like, gently leaned, and then his head, like, he was half passed out. This is all the further he can make it. And his head is up, like, on my shoulder. Like, he was just, right in my ear. And he's a big dude. I'm talking, like, this was a big boy. And I'm not expecting it, and so me, dick out, just leans over, and that half wall between, on the trough? Just I had to put my hand on the half wall to hold me and Drunky McGee up.
Oh.
And I'm still pissing, because I've been holding it forever and drinking giant beers, and I'm still pissing. And the guys around me are cracking up. The dudes are like, his buddies are trying to get him off of me. And at this point, I've just looked up and have made eye contact now. And I know that's against the rules. But the dude...
Well, special circumstances.
Yeah. The dude across from me, he and I lock eyes. And he just gives me this look like, you okay, buddy? And I gave him, being a dad, I kind of gave him the head nod shrug, like, he's just a lovable lug. I don't even know this guy.
I've worn other people's shit before. This is fine with me.
I've caught vomit in my hand. Dad of the year, thank you very much. It was just all hot dog chunks and Kool-Aid. It was awful, but it's just And this guy, he whispers in my ear. He goes, "I'm gonna throw up," and I was like, "Can you get this guy off me?" And so his buddies are dragging him, and he's trying to get his pants off. And they get him, it was beautiful because they get him to the stall and they can't decide which direction to turn him in.
Oh, because it could come out either way.
Yeah. And
so now they're wrestling with a gigantic drunken toddler, attempting to strip him in public for his own good.
Yep.
After saving you from a possible molestation and a new friend.
Yes. At that point, I was like, I wanted to stick around to see what was about to happen.
Yeah.
But the other part of me was like, I don't want to see what's about to happen.
Plus, your time is up there. Then you got to give the next guy the high side.
Hey, you want to hit in on this?
You should have gotten like, you can take my spot. Don't put your hand on this wall. By the way, it is moist.
It's so wet.
The gentleman across from you, his name is Maurice. He's very kind, and he will take care of you should something happen. He'll be there for you emotionally. Now, I need you to watch this gentleman. I'll be outside with yet another beer, and I would like your report on my desk. The fortitude of not knowing what happened. It's like, all right, do we take his pants? Do we take his pants off? Dear God. I've never been in that situation. I've had buddies had to put my pants back on.
Yes, you have.
I wasn't even referring to you. My buddies, Jason and Dan from Henry. I was 16. I still have the scar. You can't really see it because I got the beard. But I was too drunk to urinate, and I think I either passed out or I slipped. Doesn't really matter, but I knocked my chin on the toilet taking a leak and knocked myself cold. Knocked myself completely cold. Now, to these people's, not to their detriment, I mean, just it speaks to their character. And it's also, this is before there were cameras on phones. So they didn't really have the option. But they were both half drunk and halfway through medic training because they were reservists. Uh-huh. I woke up with my pants up because I'm sure they were down, and I was in at least two different of my own fluids in a puddle on the floor. Definitely blood and urine. Could have been anything else, but those two were definitely there. Just making a slurry of, yeah, that was a bad call. And I wake up, but the only thing they could think to do was they took a baseball-sized wad of toilet paper, put it on my chin, and just duct taped it around my head like I have a toothache in the 50s.
See, and that's an oopsie. That's what they call it.
I caught some meat, pal.
You did. You caught some meat.
I caught some hard meat. And then I woke up thinking that I had lockjaw because I was hungover. I possibly was concussed. I don't know, but I definitely knocked myself out. And if you've ever woken up from being knocked out as opposed to fainting or going to sleep, it's a different thing. Especially when you're in a completely different building than you last recall. And then I was only like 16, so I had to tell my mother roughly what happened. But it was like hours later, and the guy's like, then she took me someplace like, we can't stitch that up. What'd you think? How'd you open it up? He's like, oh yeah, I slipped and fell, and I opened it up on a toilet while urinating. He's like, wow, you're gonna want a lot of drugs. That's gonna get infected, most likely. Yeah, my wife's gonna get pink eye doing this in about 25 years.
Yeah, I will say I was bare-assed in a Chicago bathroom one time because I couldn't. So I had boxer briefs, but they didn't have the little flap on the front. They were just kind of like bike shorts that I was wearing, but they were fancy. They were fancy.
Don't make me picture your underwear. I'm more comfortable with you dick in hand than you in underwear in my head. I don't know why that's a thing, but it's the truth, and I don't lie to you.
No, they're great. I'm going to tell you they're great because it's a kitten with lasers shooting out of its eyes.
On the back.
What's that?
I don't need to know. I don't need to know. I said on the front or the back.
Yes.
Then realized I didn't need to know. One on each cheek.
So I am... This is, God, I can't remember how long ago. But it was one of our many adventures at 3 a.m, I'm sure. And I don't remember what bar. Because I would come up and you and Jeff and a few other people would just be like, this way! And I'd go, yes, that way! And then would just, how drunk can we get Smith?
Adventures, the way you put it, I usually say horrific mistakes worth repeating.
Yes.
But I think adventures works.
Haven't you learned your lesson? Well, I can't remember what the lesson was because I got blackout drunk. I guess I got to do it again.
This is not Aesop's Fables. This is me in a pile of my own sick.
But I had forgotten that there was no flap on the opening, the dick opening on your underpants, and I am digging around trying to figure out how to get my dick out, and I'm gonna pee my pants. Like I'm gonna straight up just piss my britches if I don't.
You actually use the little flap in front of those things?
Sometimes, yeah.
Really?
Like if I'm wearing jeans because I unzip and then pull it wide and go to town.
Huh. I'm always a pull down guy.
Yeah.
I mean, not around my knees or anything, but just pull down the elastic there.
Well, hang on, because I couldn't figure out my pants, and I kept saying I can't figure out my pants, and dudes are walking in and turning right around and walking out of the bathroom. They're just like
you were saying this to no one.
Yes, I can't figure out my pants. I gotta pee. I can't figure out my pants. And so finally, I just undid everything and just pulled down to my knees.
Yeah, okay.
Like a toddler.
Like the weird kid in 8th grade.
Yep.
Who doesn't realize that you don't have to do that when you're older.
Come on, buddy. We've talked about this.
I don't need to see your full ass at the urinal, man. Come on. And no, I don't want to play Magic the Gathering.
Come on. Just once.
Actually, I do really want to play Magic the Gathering, just not with that kid.
So I'm at the urinal, pants at my knees, and I'm doing the hands up on the wall to hold me up, because otherwise I'm going to spin around. I mean, it's just, I'm bad. And I'm just leaned over, and it's just, I'm chipping porcelain. I'm
nice.
pissing so hard. There's a dude that comes in. I remember him going, huh. He comes up, there's 3 urinals. I'm at the middle one, because of course I would be, because I'm a giant dickhead. Drunk. Dude comes up, does his business, goes, huh.
Was he buying stocks?
Yes. His phone was penis shaped.
Dad jokes. I'll be here all week. Actually, I'll be here all month, apparently.
I'm never leaving. God help me. So there I am, and he didn't wash his hands, but I trust that he didn't piss all over his hand. But
yeah.
I'm standing there, and it's just, I'm doing the finish up, the finish up where you think you're done, and then it's a little bit more.
And you can't gauge that when you're hammered.
Nope. So
the older you get, the worse it gets. At any point in time, even if I'm sober, there are 2 key areas of my underwear that are moist.
Oh.
Minimum.
What is with that? Why?
I don't know.
Why is it so moist now? I do a bit about sweaty ass being like, I don't remember my ass being this sweaty. So
no.
I'm not going to go into the bit, but I legit, it's like a marshland back there half the time.
I've been working on a bit, but totally on accident. Because I just don't know how else to deal with this in my life. Because it's not like it's going to stop.
No.
Something like this shows up. you know?
It just gets worse. It just gets worse.
Not like all of a sudden my beard's going to start growing in blonde. It just isn't going to happen for me.
Yeah, this isn't getting any darker right here. I look like a wizard.
But the little beard thing you got there?
Yeah.
It's symmetrical, though.
Yeah, at least there's that. It is getting like a little gray up here on the bottom of the chin.
I think it's interesting how 9 times out of 10 for men, men, when they start to go gray, it's symmetrical in beard or hair. You get the temples that start, maybe a little salt and pepper, but it all kind of looks uniform. And then women have like 9 angry hairs that start, and they just stick straight up in weird spots. I don't understand why that's a thing. Why nature went, I'm done with this. You sick of this? Just put it wherever. I don't want to. Let's get out of here.
Look. I'm just gonna say she's hooked up. She's in a relationship, and that dude, he's gonna fuck her no matter what. That's all I'm saying. Absolutely. That's all I'm. So this dude, he turns and looks at me, and puts. So he puts his right hand on my right shoulder, and like the left hand on my left shoulder, but like he's gonna try and turn me. But he's got a hold of me, and he leans in, and he goes, "We've all been there. You doing okay?" And he just keeps getting closer. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "Ha, sobered you up, didn't I? All right, man, have a good night. Nice dick." And then he just walked away, and I was like, "You're a hero. That's what you are."
That man was Johnny Cash.
That man was B. Arthur.
That man. And he smelled of musk. You have a lot of stories about the bathrooms where people are checking on you.
Yeah.
Strange men are just coming up to you. Wow, this guy. I could not look at myself in the mirror if I didn't help this man.
Look at him. Did you lose your handler?
I'm not going to go to my grave knowing that I did this a disservice to this human being. With his dick out and both hands on your dick's always out, your hands are on the walls, and you got strangers asking you if you're okay breathing into your ear.
Yeah, it's a theme. It
is.
God,
it'd be a great coffee table book.
I wish if I could just have a photographer wandering around with me.
Or just the guy that did the Far Side cartoons, have him illustrate it. I mean, that reference is dated as all hell, but I think it holds up.
That you know what? I think our audience will know. Louis. Where friends meet.
The bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've never been there, that means nothing. You're just saying a man's name.
Yeah.
Pablo's. What? I don't know. Then he passed out. He said Pablo's.
He screamed it? Yeah, like he was making a declaration.
Louis, where friends meet.
And then he fell over and just an extended fart noise.
Which was obviously coming from his wife's mouth. And I don't understand.
This performance art shit has to stop.
I'm just saying, it doesn't make any sense to me. I just don't get it.
So, I try not to shit in bars, right?
I'm with you there.
Yeah,
it has to happen. It's awful, and the doors never shut correctly.
No,
in England, you don't have gaps in a lot of European bathrooms. You don't have gaps where people can just look at you through the doors.
Really?
You know what I mean? No, apparently that's not a thing. It freaks out. It freaks out European people when they see that in America. Like, well, people can just look in. Like, yeah, isn't that a thing? No, yours are just made wrong.
Somebody put that in incorrectly. As Americans, we're so fat that we had to make the stalls a little wider.
They have seams that are actually spreading in the metal.
Just stretching it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the only way I can shit is if somebody's watching. That's just...
And again, I love you, but I'm sick of that duty. I do not...
What, a Zoom call from... God damn it, come on!
I told you to watch!
Every platform, Skype, FaceTime, I'm going to be buzzing you until this comes out.
I got to drop this grumpy growler, man.
That's fun. I was just listening to something earlier, and they were talking about the grumpy growlers. Yeah,
The 700 Club, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Just trying to keep up.
Well, it could be Trump. We have a super duper missile now. I don't really want to do Trump because there's no point. But did you hear that?
Yeah, I did. And
Super duper missile, like he was 5.
we call it the super duper missile. Oh boy. Oh. And I giggled and sighed at the same time. Like, it's like when a 5-year-old is telling you a story and you know that they're exaggerating, but you just let it go for the betterment of everyone.
Your dad, give me a balloon. It's like, what the fuck?
I just, that's the thing. No, we could talk about him, but what are we going to say? What are we going to say?
No,
same thing.
It's there's no point anymore. No, we're not making a point. It's a dumpster fire.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I was trying to come up with the name of Louis, all I could think of was Where Friends Meet, and I was like, what the fuck was the name of that bar? Louis. I had to take a dump at Louis one time, and I felt so bad. Well, and this had been after I'd been up in Chicago for a few days, and I had eaten all of the worst food. Because it wasn't like, yeah, we should go get a sensible salad and have a grilled chicken breast. It was like, yeah, we're going to eat chicken wings and charcuterie platters, and I'm going to just roll up a pizza like a burrito and shove it into just right down my throat.
Absolutely.
And Pabst, yeah, give me all the Pabst. I don't care.
Oh, God.
Pabst, Stag, whatever's cheap.
Whatever you think.
And so I'm literally, I have to shit so bad at Louis, I was sweating.
It was always so cold in that bathroom.
Yes. And
I don't know why.
And it was welcome, because by the time I was like, I can't hold it. And Jeff was even like, buddy, you got to hold. I was like, I can't. I have to do this. So I go into Louis' stall. I'm in there, and I did horrible thing. I almost felt like I should have written a note of apology.
You can put it right next to the 7 other ones that are on the wall right there.
Yeah. And a dude walks in, sees the stall closed, sees, of course, my pants at my ankles, and goes, oh, come on.
The same thing that the priest said to you when you're holding hands at the John.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
But I felt bad, but at the same time, I was like, dude, it was either this or the alley. And he's like, oh, no, you misunderstand. I got a shit, too. And I was like, oh, hold on. And then, I was like, all right, hold on. He's like, I'm going to wait outside. Just let me know. And I was like, okay. And then he and I became shit buddies that night.
Yeah.
Every time we walked by each other, he was just like, shit buddy, and that was it.
I had to use that bathroom more than I worked there twice. You know what I mean? With a decade in the middle of it. It was weird. It always smelled like a combination of like a Russian's crock pot and the zoo when it rains, and I don't know why.
Yes, that's exactly right. I was always trying to place that smell, but you're 100% correct.
I've been trying to come up with 2 different things that I could mix for the last 10 minutes, and that's the only thing I got. Yeah.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah.
And if anyone, once Louis opens back up after all this, go smell the bathroom. You will see a Russian's crock pot in the zoo when it rains.
Or Drakkar Noir, which is basically the same
It's
thing.
the exact
I could have just gone with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't use 8 words when you can just use one. You sound pretentious. Drakkar Noir. There we go.
It smells like, well, yeah, but I don't know if anyone even still wears that.
You do if you're a grown man who wears too many gold chains in the summer without a shirt.
And only dates 23-year-olds.
Right. Wearing the exact same amount of gold chains and also with back hair.
Yeah, but somehow it looks good on her.
Yeah, you know what? She knows who she is.
Yeah. She's not ashamed.
No.
Shaves her armpits, shaves her legs, leaves it on the back. That way, when they have kids, they can just grab hold and go for anyway.
Absolutely. Those are the people who groom themselves with products by DeWalt.
Speaking of which, I got to cut my toenails tonight.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you doing it because your wife is complaining? Or because you saw them in the flip-flops and went, oh no, that's not supposed to be on a person?
Yeah. They're not bad. They just need some. They need some maintenance. Although I've never got a pedicure, and I've been told they're amazing. And if I'm going to be wearing these flip-flops, which I'm going to, I feel like I got to go get a pedicure. I got to go get somebody to work on these tootsies.
Hello?
Hey, we blanked out for a second.
There you are. Yeah, there you go. Did you hear me say I feel like we lost our connection?
No, I didn't hear that part.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because you just froze and like, he's just staring at me and not blinking. That got scary real quick. Now you say something. I thought you were actually taking a grumpy growler and you're just like, just do a reckless desk joke.
Larry, I told you no performance art on the podcast.
Hey, sure, you pay the mortgage. You shit wherever you want, pal. Just don't make me watch.
I told you that's the only way I could finish.
If I had a nickel for every time I said that phrase. This is the only way I could finish.
It was usually, it sounds more choked out, though, when you say
Yeah, absolutely. We call this taking the old carotene.
Oh, man.
He caught some meat. That's a guy who caught a lot of meat.
He did. He caught some meat.
With a product that said Wilson's Leather on it in the closet.
Oh, boy.
Too soon?
No. Him and the lead singer of NXS.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh. Were they in the same hotel room?
Well, if they were wasting they were wasting
I don't
potential.
know.
Look, you jerk me off, I'll jerk you off, and we'll just choke each other a little bit until one of us passes out.
I don't know very much about the music of NXS, and that's not a lie. I really don't. But you say to me, this figure of NXS died from autoerotic asphyxiation. For some reason in my head that tracks. Like, yeah, the guy from Kung Fu. Really? NXS. Oh, I get it.
Oh.
It's like saying Annie Lennox, sacrifices children to make magic. I'm like, I get that too. Yeah, absolutely. That doesn't shock me.
Of course she
It's
does.
fucking terrifying. No. You'll have nightmares. Watch any Eurythmics video from the 80s and 90s.
It's like you told me Grace Jones hunts and kills her own food. Well, that makes sense. With her bare hands. Oh. Yeah, that still makes sense. Okay.
In the middle of an urban setting.
It's at the zoo. She just jumps into the lion cage.
It's at the zoo.
It's beautiful to watch. It really is. It's nature in motion.
Why did they let that happen? You tried to stop her.
She just hisses like a drunk possum.
Grace Jones and Annie Lennox. Two human beings I'm terrified of. And I'd have dinner with Kim Jong-un, but these two are terrifying.
Yeah, they are. But like no, not even a good way. Just terrifying. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah, like Wrinkles the Clown terrifying. Like finding something on the beach that's you can only describe as bloated. You know what I mean?
Well, I found something. What was it? I don't know.
Bloated. You're not even gonna give me a noun? No, doesn't seem important.
I poked it with a stick. It hissed.
It hissed. It was Grace Jones.
It was Grace Jones. She was chasing a shark. Took on too much water.
Finally got a team full of stout men to kick her out of the zoo. And she had to take to the sea.
They just sent the silverbacks after her.
We've gone down a hole. I can just picture somebody Googling, why is Grace Jones terrified?
Oh, she hunts live lions at Lincoln Park Zoo? Really? Is that...
Outside of that one Conan the Barbarian movie, what did she ever do? And I'm not
Wasn't
breaking
she in
news.
a James Bond movie, too?
Sure?
I think she fucked David Bowie, didn't she?
That was in Mon.
Oh.
That could have been both of them. They could have been in the same hotel room with a guy from Excess for all I know. I'm not here to tell them about their lives.
I'm not here to judge. I'm just trying to report the news.
Hey, Grace, can you set up the belt so I can choke myself? All right, honey, sure. Let me get the biscuits out of the oven. We got it.
Make sure it's a good stout belt this time. I don't want it coming loose.
Those old... Or the braided belts. Those are just... hard to get a real good wank on with those.
I don't know. I mean, I've never had a trouble with it.
Well, I guess to each their own.
Look, and if you're interested, just check out my OnlyFans.
I feel like we're going to get some interesting sponsors.
I hope so. I hope one of us has to write copy for adamandeve.com. I really hope so. Oh.
We're giving away like 8 videos at a time now.
It's like 30.
What?
They're giving away so much.
It's like you buy one dildo at half off, and they're like, DVD porn, nobody wants them anymore. Do you want them? Do your parents want them? Can you do anything with these? Do you need coasters with tits on them? What can we do for you?
For God's sakes, help us get rid of these DVDs. I can't believe we have this many either.
We are just eating the cost on all these right now.
Look, if you buy this butt plug that has LED lights in it, we'll give you 48 DVDs for free.
Excess.
It's a belt that goes around. It's signed by David Carradine himself.
Well, he got halfway through, and then David Carradine.
It's just a line going. Well, just enough till he passed out.
Nobody taps me for product ideas, and I don't know why.
I came up with a good slogan for Malort the other day.
Is it just noise? Just white noise and retching?
It's just that's I think that's a good one.
What do you got?
It was hold on, I gotta remember. It reminds you you're alive, but makes you wish you're dead. Malort.
That's not bad. That's not bad. That's somewhere in the realm of reality.
Yes. Yeah, because just a blood-curdling scream is not good copy.
When I was a Chicago bartender, when people asked me what Malort was, my answer was typically something along the lines of, it finally answers the question, what does it smell like when hobos have sex in a boxcar on a bunch of rotting grapefruits?
Malort!
Malort!
You want a true Chicago experience? You could go drink piss out of a hobo's boot, or
do something worse.
you could have some Malort.
You could have some Malort.
Drink piss out of a hobo's boot while Mike Tyson punches you in the gut. Or Malort.
It's Swedish.
We hate it too.
Hooray.
Well, buddy, we've been at this for the time.
Have we hit time?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, what did we never came up with a good sign off?
No, we haven't. We gotta come up with something.
Well, I mean, we could take a quick recap and talk about what we learned. That might not be bad.
I learned that you have no problem exploiting a woman.
Period.
I don't have to go any further. Exploiting a woman to accomplish your goals.
I kind of wish you would have stopped in the middle of that sentence.
Just saying, that's what I learned. That was my takeaway from your I'm a very sweet human and I took care of my fiance's vomit. But my takeaway was,
because I have a certificate somewhere that says something about exploiting women. I don't remember what I did to win it.
You won it.
Yeah, it's a certificate. It's not like it's more of like an honorable mention type thing.
Hey, good job. So what'd you learn today, Ziggy?
I learned that I'm going to be using the phrase "I caught some meat" in every conversation for the next 3 days.
Excellent. I think that's our first T-shirt.
I caught some meat. This is Zig and Larry.
I got some meat, Zig and Larry.
Spectacular, buddy. All right.
All right. I love you.
I love you back.
Bye.
Bye.